This door for sure. What my own. Open the door, man.
In this first clip, a middle-aged man can be seen approaching this homeowner's Ring doorbell camera. He appears to ring the doorbell, by which point the homeowner had likely already pulled up the live feed. The man proceeds to identify himself.
Steven here.
You got the wrong house.
I knew this was a ripoff.
Okay, what are you looking for, Steven?
No, I am Steven. I'm looking for, Fifi.
Yeah, you got the wrong house.
So, you don't want to have sex tonight?
Sir, my husband's in the living room with the gun.
Huh. Okay.
Have a good
Understood.
night.
After the man identifies himself, the homeowner can be heard telling the man that he must have the wrong house and she is clearly not expecting anyone at 2 a.m. The man pauses for a moment before saying he knew this was a ripoff. After clarifying that his name is Steven, the man says he is looking for Fifi. The homeowner assures the man that nobody with that name lives there. The man then says, "Oh, so you don't want to have sex tonight?" Clearly shocked by this, the homeowner makes it clear that her husband is home and that he is armed. The man realizes he is out of luck and proceeds to leave. At first I thought this footage was just a very strange man trying his luck with a random homeowner for no reason. After looking through some comments on this video, found in the r/therewasanattempt subreddit, I realized this man could have also been catfished, not that that makes it any less creepy. One thing that hints towards this is that the man immediately identifies himself without being asked, as if someone should have been expecting him. He also says, "I knew this was a ripoff," which is the type of phrase you hear all the time on To Catch a Predator when the predators see Chris Hansen walk into the room. This implies that he was likely directed to this house at this particular time for a meetup of some sort. With who, we can only guess. Either way, the homeowner was lucky they weren't alone in the house and that they had a good security system, because who knows what this man could have tried to do otherwise. This next clip was recorded in Greece late one night while the homeowner was out of town on vacation. In the clip, 3 masked men can be seen approaching the door and Ring camera from the left side of the screen. As the men are fooling around by the door, the homeowner was able to open the notification on his phone and speak up.
Έλα, παιδιά, τι γίνεται?
Καλησπέρα σας. Ένα σκυλί έχουμε δει εδώ και τρέχουμε.
Ναι.
Δεν ξέρω αν είναι δικό σας.
Όχι, δεν είναι δικό μας. Ευχαριστώ πολύ. Παρακαλώ, βγείτε από το σπίτι.
Ναι, παρακαλώ.
The dialogue is in Greek and I am unable to translate it, but the original poster of this clip summed it up as him basically asking what the men were doing, to which they quickly made up a very poor excuse that they were looking for a stray dog in the area. The homeowner asked them to leave, and obviously they did. If the homeowner hadn't had that doorbell camera installed, his house would have almost certainly been robbed. Even worse, if he had been home at the time and without a camera, who knows what the men might have done had they confronted him in his own home. Overall, this clip is a classic example of why having these cameras in the first place is so important to keeping you and your property safe. This next case is another example of a Ring camera helping alert a homeowner to a potential threat. Posted to the r/home defense subreddit, the OP explained that they had just installed this camera outside the front door of their apartment 6 days before this incident took place. In the clip, a woman can be seen slowly walking up to the homeowner's front door. She then begins to peer around the corner and press her face up closer to the glass to look around inside. After doing this, the woman turns back the other direction and clearly makes a few facial expressions to someone outside view of the camera while whispering something to them. You don't need to dig too deep into this clip to realize what the woman was doing. It's obvious that she is most likely casing the place to see if this was a good target for a robbery or something similar. Multiple users pointed out in the comments section of the post that the lady even pretends to ring the doorbell to make her actions seem less suspicious to anyone who may be watching. This detail, though small, rules out any good intentions one may claim the woman had. This proves that this woman was up to no good, and hopefully she doesn't return to the OP's apartment ever again. This next clip is another from the r/home defense subreddit. The original poster claims that their doorbell camera saved their life by capturing this and alerting them to the threat quickly. After watching the clip, I'm sure you'll agree. In the clip, two large men can be seen approaching the door late one night. One of the men seems to be bossing the other around as he works up the courage to approach the door. I will let this next bit speak for itself.
Open this goddamn door, nigga. Since we bought my own. Open this door, man. Open this goddamn door, you hear me?
A few seconds after knocking on the door, one of the men starts aggressively kicking the door and aggressively telling the homeowner to open it. Obviously, nobody in their right mind would open the door after seeing something like this. Luckily, the homeowner had done a good job at getting a strong reinforced door. To be more specific, they actually had a steel door installed and it looks to be concrete enclosed as well. One of the most important things you can do to prevent break-ins is to replace the screws on your front door. The original screws for many front doors are typically very short and won't do much to stop someone who wants to force their way in. A simple and easy way to reinforce your front door is by replacing these screws with longer and more durable screws that can withstand much more force. Of course, this doesn't do you any good if the door itself is very flimsy, so you may want to invest in a stronger door as well. Luckily, the homeowner from this clip had a strong door and was able to keep these dangerous individuals from entering his home. We can only imagine what their intentions were when they got inside. In the following clip, a man who looks to be in his late teens or early 20s walks across the homeowner's driveway starting at the right side of the screen. The man then comes back a few minutes later and ends up approaching the homeowner's car and trying the door handle. It's obvious that his intentions were to break into the car to either steal items from inside or possibly steal the car itself. The OP says they live in one of the safest neighborhoods in the city, but what many people don't realize is that these things can happen anywhere. Depending on your vehicle type and what you have inside your car that's visible from the outside, you may be at a higher risk for people trying to break in. Just earlier this year, there was a trend going around on TikTok where certain models of Hyundai vehicles were being stolen. Criminals were able to easily trick the key fob detection system in the cars and steal them without much hassle. Hyundai did a big recall after this incident and they will fix any cars that have the issue, but this is just one example of why you should always keep your car doors locked no matter where you go. This last clip was captured at 2:30 a.m. by the homeowner's front door camera. The original poster added captions and highlights on screen, so I will let most of the clip play out for itself. Ultimately, the two men in the clip gave away their intentions right off the bat when they verbally pointed out the camera and mentioned that they should cover their faces. They then proceed to knock on the door and end up getting confronted by the homeowner speaking through the front door. The homeowner must have scared them off because they ended up leaving, but the original poster was able to gather a fair bit of information from the video footage and make a good police report about the incident. As of the recording of this video, they haven't heard anything back.